Hey there, I'm Claire and welcome to my channel and this particular video. I am a full-time artist and right now I thought it would be fun to show you my daily painting practice that I do in my Hobonichi Cousin. I use a Hobonichi Cousin because it's larger than the average Hobonichi, and also I think they're cute. I really like the covers you can get for them, and I like the way the pages are set up, and I like the paper that crinkles up when you paint on it, and that is why this is my second year using them. Last year I had a regular A5 Hobonichi, and I used it for creative journaling and not at all painting. So this year I wanted to try something different. I'm not doing any creative journaling, I'm just painting every day, trying something new. Today I'm using gouache from a number of brands. I've got Holbein and Arteza and something else that I can't think of. Winsor & Newton. Yeah, so all the greatest hits. I have really been liking it on the Hobonichi paper, but I have kind of a love-hate relationship with regular gouache. I usually use acrylic gouache, but I used to paint with regular gouache all the time when I was doing a daily dog painting project that did not go super well. I made it past 100 days and then I just totally ran out of steam and kind of gave up on the project. It was not the greatest. But that's okay, because you live and learn, and then you try it again a few years later in a slightly different format, and it goes better, maybe? We'll see. Today I'll be working on 2 pages. I like working on them in spreads because sometimes the first page can influence the second page, or sometimes they're not connected at all, and that's fine too. And sometimes I just miss a day or several and I need to catch up. On the left side of this spread, you'll see that I've blocked in with gouache the basic shapes of the face that I'm going to be painting later. And on the right side, you can see that I have gone with a totally different approach, and I'm just drawing it first and then blopping in the colors as they go. I've really been putting the Hobonichi through its paces. I've been testing out so many different kinds of media on these pages, just trying to see what the paper will hold and what I personally like. So I have gone through colored pencils, collage, watercolors, markers, gouache, acrylic gouache, acrylic paints, just everything that I have I've been throwing at these pages just to see how that goes. And so far I'm kind of liking regular gouache, what I'm using right now, the best. Like, I'm having the best time painting with that stuff than I've had with other materials. But I also like acrylic gouache, of course, and probably my least favorite would be the colored pencils, but I am not the biggest fan of colored pencils anyway, so take that with a grain of salt. I've been using a Hobonichi instead of just a traditional sketchbook with, appropriate paper, because I really like that the days are dated, and I'm, as previously stated, just a huge fan of Hobonichis in general, so I'll pretty much take any excuse to buy one in September, or is it September? When they come out and Hobonichi fever really sets in, and I'm just realizing, like, if you're not initiated into this bizarre little world, that it's going to sound really weird to you. But basically, Hobonichi is this Japanese planner, and every year they release them along with new covers, and if you're a nerd like me, it's very exciting. And every year I have been buying probably too many of them, thinking I'm gonna use this one for this and that one for that. And sometimes I do follow through and sometimes I don't, and I just kind of have to wait and see how it's going to go. So far, I am actually amazingly doing pretty well at keeping this one up. When I've fallen behind, I've caught up, so I'm taking that as a total win. But getting back to what I'm actually painting here, as you can see, I don't concern myself with centering the image or painting within the lines or really any rules at all. I don't like most painting rules, but I especially don't like them in my sketchbooks because I feel like sketchbooks are just the place for making a mess and experimenting and having fun and not worrying about getting it right. I struggle with that feeling of getting it right all the time, actually. I'm always looking for a way to adjust my mindset past pass fail painting. I feel like that's kind of my biggest struggle, is just keeping it light and keeping it fun and not worrying so much about whether a painting is good enough or if it's gonna sell or any of those things. I'm trying to make my new barometer for painting success just, did I enjoy this? Was this enjoyable to paint? Because if you enjoyed the process, then hey, you've already won. If it sells, that's gravy. It's wonderful, but it's not necessary in order for you to feel happy about the painting, if you know what I mean. That's really why I've been keeping this sketchbook. It's an exercise for me in having fun and allowing mistakes and trying to learn to just enjoy the process, because nothing in here can be sold. It's really just for me. And that is a total mindset shift for me, but I'm learning. I'm getting better about it. And it's been going pretty good lately. Like, I really flopped around and struggled with this for, most of the first part of the year. But I feel like I'm finally starting to hit my stride and like things are getting better. I'm enjoying it more and I like how my pages are turning out. I've been painting nearly daily for the last 7 or 8 years, and most of that has been pugs. I've switched it up all the time with different media and different styles, and I always come back to painting pugs. It's just like this really helpful jumping off point for me for exploring new avenues of expression. But of course, I paint things other than pugs sometimes. I paint other dogs and even cats and objects and cake. Oh my gosh, I love painting sweets. I often combine sweets and pugs. That's kind of my sweet spot. I hate using that expression because it's too much of a cliche. But there we have it. I generally cannot resist making a bad pun, and sometimes I paint the bad puns, and it's just what it is. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going to tire of painting pugs eventually. I mean, it's been 7 or 8 years of this so far, and my last big creative obsession lasted about 6 or 7 years, so like it could happen again. And that's a little bit of a worry because I've built a business up around it and all my people are pug people. So I'm kind of afraid of disappointing them and going on to something completely different. It's a little bit of a worry, but I don't think I will, because one, I really love what I'm doing. I really love painting pugs. And two, they are, as previously stated, a convenient jumping off point for me. Like, when I'm going to try a new media, that's what I'm going to draw. I don't have to think about oh, what am I gonna draw? I don't know. It's like, no, I'm gonna draw a pug and it's gonna be great. So that's that. So, what do you think of using a Hobonichi as a daily sketchbook? Have you tried it? Would you try it? Leave a comment and let me know because I would really like to hear from you and know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And thank you for listening to me ramble for longer than I usually talk to most humans. Anyway, hope it was fun. See you next time. Pug hugs.